Last month, political prisoners in the Evin prison were brutally attacked by prison guards. The mullahs have intensified their attacks on Ashraf and liberty, and in such circumstances, Canada's support for human rights in Iran, freedom and Iranian resistance is more effective than any other time. Our objective is a free and democratic Iran, a republic based on separation of religion and state, gender equality and rule of law. A new Iran with no discrimination against religious or ethnic minorities, and a non-nuclear Iran. I thank you for your attention and would like to hear your views. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your testimony. We have enough time to have 6-minute rounds of questions and answers. We begin with Ms. Grewal, followed by Mr. Marsden. Ms. Grewal, please begin.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Ms. Rajavi, for your presentation, and certainly all of us do appreciate it. Well, there are many promises kind of made to the residents of Camp Ashraf during their relocation by the UN, by the United States and Iraq, to name a few. So perhaps what is most concerning about these promises is the actual kind of physical conditions of Camp Liberty itself. So can you elaborate on the current conditions inside the Camp Liberty and how this limits the safety and security of the residents there?
If you allow me, I continue in Persian.
I should say that this is a very important question because many commitments have been breached, and the most important one is the security and the protection of the residents in Camp Liberty. The reality is that Camp Liberty lacks any security. Residents are crammed in trailers without any protection. I have these photographs of the trailers that show they have absolutely no protection. If I make a comparison, the top photograph is when the Americans were stationed in that camp. As you will see, all the trailers have been protected by large T-walls, but now the bottom photo is the present condition in Camp Liberty without any protection whatsoever. And also when the Americans were stationed there, there was no such high density of population, but at the same time they had 17,500 T-walls to protect them. But after the residents were relocated from Ashraf to Camp Liberty, all the T-walls were removed from the camp by the Iraqis. And after 2 years of intensive efforts, the Iraqi government so far has only allowed about 700 T-walls to be installed in the camp. Only yesterday a bullet was fired at the camp, and because there was no protection, it hit one of the trailer's door and then went through the ceiling, and one resident was injured in his head. So this is an alarm about the lack of security in Camp Liberty and the immediate and serious threat that the residents are facing. Unfortunately, Iraq does not even allow the residents that at their own expenses to get enough bunkers or to bring their own protective equipment, including protective vest and helmet that they have in Ashraf. So the reality is that the residents are vulnerable to missile attacks. And also, as you know, the security situation in Iraq has deteriorated in recent months. And we have received the information recently from inside Iran that the Iranian regime and the government of Maliki intend to attack liberty and then claim that the opposition forces or rogue groups have attacked the camp. And to pretend it to be and also, as you know, some of the conflicts between the opposition and the Iraqi forces are only a few kilometers away from the Camp Liberty.